So today we are going to see the installation of Splunk Enterprise on the Windows machine. And after this, I'm going to show you the installation of Splunk on the Linux as well. So to start with, let's see how we can install Splunk Enterprise on the Windows machine. So I am here on the Windows machine. I have provisioned one instance on the AWS cloud, and it's the Windows 2022 server. So let's begin and see how we can install Splunk on the Windows instance. So what we will have to do in order to install the Splunk, we will have to download the Splunk Enterprise software, and Splunk provides it for the trial version of it, which you can use for 60 days. So let's download it first, and then we'll see the installation. So I am here on the browser. Just forgive me, the system looks a bit slow. So, okay. So I'm going to download the Splunk from the Splunk's official site. So this is even free trials and downloads. Just click on it, and yeah, it will take you to the Splunk official website. So here you can see Splunk Enterprise software, and the trial is applicable for 60 days. So that's too much of time, I would say, if you want to do hands-on and if you want to play around with your data. So just click on it. And if you haven't set up your account on Splunk, just go ahead and do that, because without setting up the account on a Splunk website, you won't be able to download this software. So you really need to set up your account. So I already got my account here. Let me just log in. Okay, so now I have logged into Splunk, and here, as you can see, it gives you with an options of downloading the Splunk for your relevant operating system. So since I'm going to show you it for the Windows machine, I'm going to select the same Windows 64-bit installer. So I'm just downloading it. Okay, so it's being downloaded now. Let it complete, just a couple of more seconds. Okay, cool. So it's been downloaded now. Just click on it to run it on this machine. Okay, so it's being installed on this machine now. It may take a couple of minutes. However, the installation is very straightforward. You just need to accept the license agreement. You do not need to make any changes here. Just next. And here you will have to select the username and password. So this, you will be needed to log into your Splunk web interface. So I'm going to select username as admin and then the password. And there is no hard and fast rule, like you can select any username and password. So that should be fine. However, there are few restrictions for the password, what you choose here. It should be minimum of 8 sky characters, right? So just make sure of that. Click next. I'm going to untick and install. And it may take couple of minutes, as I said, so just bear with me. uh, it should be completed, and then we can proceed further to log into the Splunk web interface. So it's still being installed. It may take another 1 or 2 minutes. So let's wait for its completion, and then so while it's being installed, let me also tell you that along with the Splunk Enterprise solution, Splunk also provides you with the solution of Splunk Cloud, wherein you will not have to manage your Splunk licenses, and also Splunk will do it for yourself, uh, for for you. Splunk will do it for you, and then what you will have to do from your end, you will be charged basically as per the license consumption on the Splunk Cloud. So that's the another Splunk offerings you can use if you do not want to manage Splunk on your own. So you can leave it on Splunk, and then they will manage it for you. So they have the cloud solution as well. Okay, so now the installation is done. Let's finish it. So now we can access it from the web browser. And for your information, the web port for the Splunk is 8000. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, as you can see here. So the web port is 8000. You will have to remember it for your interview questions. And if you do not want to remember the IP, you can just use the local host and then the port, and that should work. So it's acting bit slow, and the reason, what I believe is, since we are accessing it for the first time after setting it up, so that's why it's bit slow. But yeah, and the other reason is that I'm uh, installing it on the AWS Windows server, as I said earlier. So I have chosen the free tier eligible instance. So in terms of the instance capabilities and all, those are not up to the mark, like what we need for the production Splunk instances. So that's why it's a bit slow. But yeah, I mean, for the learning purpose, it's more than enough. That's what I believe. Oh, okay. So it's already loaded. Just provide the username and password here. So this username and password is the same one what you have chosen during the installation of a Splunk. Just provide that and then click sign in. So it's not loading here, but it has been loaded there. That's fine. Perfect. So now your installation is done. As you can see here, this is your Splunk homepage after the brand new installation. And here you can see few default applications what you get along with the Splunk Enterprise installation. So these two are the new applications what Splunk started providing now. Earlier, those were not there. The main Splunk app what we are going to use throughout our Splunk journey is this search and reporting, because we are going to play a lot with our machine data. So we will have to use Splunk search and reporting, wherein we will write Splunk search queries and then we'll pull out the data, we'll add the knowledge objects in order to set up the reports, alerts, dashboards. So you can take the tour as well. It will take you to the some important GUI options what you get here. But I'm going to skip that. And this is the Splunk search query box. So you can write your queries here, and then don't worry, I'm going to provide you with another lecture on how to write Splunk queries. What are the mainly used Splunk queries? What all you need to remember for the interview, and also those things will be covering up in the coming up lectures. So for now, yeah, I think that's it. The installation is done, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Thanks, guys.